Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode. My name is April Carter. I'm here with my wonderful colleague, Andrea Hill, and we have a very special conversation that we're going to have today. But before we get into it, be sure that you are on our website right now at tnnonprofits.org to learn about our annual conference, The Way Forward, all of the wonderful speakers we're going to have, and the very special guest that we are about to speak with now. Be sure that you're on his session, you're reading his description, so you will be ready to join in when we are in Nashville on August the 28th. Now, if you haven't registered, so sad. Brian has sold out our conference. He single-handedly sold out our conference, but we do have a wait list. You can contact our office to get on it. But without further ado, we would love to jump right into this conversation. I am here with my colleague, Andrea Hill, who's going to help us navigate this conversation. Hi, Andrea. Are you as excited as I am to talk to Brian?
I am extremely excited. Now, but one thing before we get started, he's told us that he's not from Tennessee. And look, do not judge him based on that. He is from
Yeah.
another beautiful state here in the southern states from Florida. But he is ready. He has a great topic for us. And so we're going to jump right in. Is that all right, Brian? Okay.
Sounds great to me. Honored to be here with you two ladies. Are you kidding me? I get to hang out with Tennessee folks on this chat now, and then coming up at this conference. I can't wait. This is going to be good.
Look, we're ready for the energy. We're ready. Look, so first question. Please share a little bit about you, your work, and why you are excited to present at the Tennessee Nonprofit Conference in August.
Absolutely. I'm Brian Nelson Palmer. I'm the founder of Productivity Gladiator, and it is my life's work basically to help people be more productive, but not just more productive, more effective, right? These days, especially with AI, there's work's happening faster, things are coming at you faster, people are overwhelmed more. And especially for the Tennessee nonprofit, for this conference specifically, I get to talk about life balance for people that work in nonprofits. And that's something that is often lost. I mean, let's be real. The research shows that three of the first things that drop off when things get crazy, when life gets crazy, is your diet, it's your exercise, and it's your sleep. Because people don't often look at it strategically. What happens is they get busy and they just try to do more and do more and do more, which means they have less time for the important things for themselves. And so I'm really excited with Productivity Gladiator. I have 4 signature sessions that I talk about, and we could nerd out on all of those. The one I'm going to nerd out with you guys on is the life balance piece of this, because there's some research that I've got and some kind of results. What I want to give you is I want to give you a plan. You're going to get to walk away with a plan on what does life balance look like for you, because for many people it's an effect. They just what happens is all of a sudden they feel like, man, my work life balance kind of sucks. That's what happens. It's like an effect. It's like a realization that you come to one day. And the reality is we can have a plan for that. So I'm going to show you the plan. We're going to develop your plan specifically for you so that you walk out of my session already having a plan for how you can do this work-life balance thing better. So I'm just stoked. This is going to be fun. I talk about this stuff all the time, and the chance to get to talk about it with you guys is good. And one thing, before we hit the record button, one of the things that April and Andrea were mentioning is about the experience with nonprofits specifically. So I'll also share that I started my career with Productivity Gladiator working with nonprofits. A lot of this stuff came from working in the education nonprofit area up in the Washington, D.C. area. I worked a lot with them, with the nonprofit associations up there. Some of my very first corporate clients and organizations that I worked with directly to help level up their people and their skills was in nonprofits in the DC area. So a lot of my work has gone in the nonprofit area, and many times those folks have, the corporations that have a lot of money have a lot of training budgets that can have a lot of great resources for their folks. And sometimes nonprofits don't always get the same amount of dollars for those training budgets. And so it's still just as important for you to talk about this stuff, to know this stuff, to learn this stuff. And so that's the part that just makes my heart happy is like you're already doing great things for us and for the world and for your organizations, your community. And so helping you with some of this stuff so that we can level you up is what my life's about. So
This is such an exciting conversation, and it is a critical conversation as well. Thinking about the title of your session alone, discover, design, and dominate your work-life balance in the nonprofit sector. That word "dominate" just really resonates with me because I'm a very competitive person, and so that's a call of action and challenge for me to not only discover and design a work-life balance, but to dominate it, be so freely and secure in it that it becomes a way of life. And so, without giving away too much, you already touched on it. You already kind of walked us through your session, but without giving away too much, kind of tell us what attendees can expect in your session and give us a little tease about that dominate part.
my gosh, did you hear that? April said I should tease you. This is gonna
Yeah.
be fun. Ah, nope. Oh, here's what I'll say. There are five legs to the table of your life balance. Many people, you already know two of them. It's the other three. Oh, look at me raise my hand here. You already know two of them. The other three are the ones you're probably missing. So the ones you already know are about work. Work is a part of your life. And for many people, that's work and self are the two that you've got. That's it. You try to take care of yourself, you do stuff for yourself, you go to work, but there's so much more than that, right? People who have midlife crises because of their life balance and work-life balance, they had work and self and they still have a midlife crisis. So there's more to it than that. So I have five for you. And when you come to my session, we'll talk about all five. I describe it as like it's the 5 points of your star. I have this here's my little thing you're going to learn in my session is twinkle twinkle life balance star. 5 points tell how bright you are and how bright your star glows. GLOWS. Those are the five things. And you come to my session, you'll find out what those things are and I can't wait to share them with you. So if that's the piece that we're going to talk about is what are the five parts of it, and then we're actually going to do an exercise where it's not just going to be listening to Brian talk. Man, I that is not my style. I want you working on I want the discussion. I want you to work on yours. I want you to leave my session with how your star glows. You're going to leave with that because I want you to have what those five things are and what does that look like for you. And I'll share mine. You'll see yours. You'll be able to compare. So it's going to be engaging. It's going to be interactive, and we're going to talk about how bright your star glows.
Well, just like your star is glowing, we have a famous glow here in Memphis and in Tennessee, but she's not going to be at the conference, but that's okay. So
Look at Andrea's in
look,
on the
tied
teasing
in.
too now.
Look,
April
tied
started
in.
it and it's contagious now. Y'all are teases.
Look. She is very highly competitive as I am, so I had to make sure I one up hers. So it'll be going back and forth. Well, you kind of
Awesome.
so you kind of led into the next thing that we wanted to talk about, like when you're presenting, what is your presentation style, and how do you keep the audience engaged? Without giving a little bit more detail, what does that actually look like, and then how would how should our attendees show up to your session, if that makes sense?
Sure. For you, for the attendees on how to show up, bring an open mind and an interest in learning a different perspective. Because you just heard me talk about 5 points to your life balance star. And I also just said that most people only have two of the 5 points. So I'm going to talk about some other points and I'll share some more information and you're going to have some good perspective on it. But I'm also going to try to change and open your mind a little bit. And some people can be kind of closed minded. especially lately in the world. There's like so there's people. There's all about a lot of different things. I'm just not. I did not just allude to politics, by the way. That was just in general in life. So anyway, open mind. Show up to the session. That's all you got to do on your side. And as far as my style goes, I like stories, and I also like very relatable, actionable things. So if you're coming to my session, my style is not to present all of this research that is going to reinforce how the work-life balance is a challenge right now. If you're coming to my session, I'm betting you already know that this is a thing, and what you're looking for is solutions, not more about the problem. So my session's focused on more about the problem, and my style, I mean, unless they tell me I can't, I'm gonna have music on when you walk in. Like so a little bit about me. I'm a group fitness instructor. I teach body pump and group cycle classes. So that same energy that comes at 8 a.m. in the morning when you come lift weights with me is the same thing that I have when we're talking about life balance and when we're talking about some of this. So my style is meant to be interactive and engaging. I like to tell stories. I like to hear your stories. And really, it's about sharing stories that are relevant to you. And so, with all of those other nonprofits that I've worked with, I'm going to tell you stories about other people that I've worked with in the nonprofit area so you can kind of compare, because I think stories are much more effective at learning. I'll have the concepts, you'll get the concepts, there will be slides, I'll share those concepts, but really it's about the stories and that engaging stuff. So I hope that helps or that answers your question on my style.
Yeah. So April, I think we need to have a 5 a.m. workout ready to go before we set up the conference.
Yes, and I expect to be fully toned by 7 a.m.
7 a.m. Yes,
from one session.
from one
Oh,
session.
oh, you
From
guys are
one to
too much.
and
I love it. All right.
I love that approach also, because speaking of that, as a fitness instructor, you may have people that come in and want immediate results. They want to see after one session, where are my muscles, or why are my legs not built? And the same thing is relevant for what we're talking about now, burnout. You don't just have one approach and you do the thing one time and suddenly you have all of the glow you need in all of your 5 point area. And so that lends itself well to our theme, which is the way forward. And we've been talking about meeting the moment. We talked about discipline and all of that. But when we're thinking about the way forward, how does your session lend itself to the topic of the way forward? How is it relevant? And how will attendees start to begin to pave a way forward after, and not completely have it resolved after one session, but how will they begin to pave the way forward?
I feel like my session is a complete bullseye for what we're talking about right now. And the reason is because we're going to come together with your plan. I'm going to give you the plan and the approach. You're going to hear other people's plans and their approach. And it's going to be on you in the way forward to actually live the 5 points of life balance instead of the two that you're used to. And so I'm going to give you the five, I'm going to give you the roadmap. And then it's going to be your challenge when things get busy again to not lose the 5 points. And so the way forward is all about here. Now you have your plan. You're going to leave with your plan. And how do you live your plan each week in and week out? I'll share how I do it. You'll have the plan to do it. But the way forward is going to be for you to make some of those changes so that you can live that balanced life, especially working in nonprofit with how crazy things are and budgets and busy and oh gosh, it's hard. It's hard. Nonprofits are hard. And so you got a plan. The way forward is going to be living your plan and not forgetting about it as soon as you walk out of the room.
I feel just a
Amazing.
little attacked, just a little, just a little.
And I
So we
want to
need,
point out that they started that talking about workouts. So I'm just going to say that if you want to see April do 10 push-ups, she just promised right here to do it in front of the class, in front of the session. You could see April do 10 push-ups to show off her guns
yes,
when in my session. So another incentive to come check me out. I'm just kidding.
girl
I didn't sign you
push-ups
up for
though,
that.
girl push-ups.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
There we go.
yeah.
There we go. I like it.
Baby steps.
Hmm.
So we know that you're from Florida or you live
Okay.
in Florida,
Yes.
but we want to make sure that you know the essence of Tennessee. So in
Oh
our
yeah.
next question, we want to hear what would if you had 48 hours of free time. That's before or after the conference, because during the conference you're going to be locked in. You have
Okay.
48 hours of free time in Tennessee. Where would you spend it, and what would your agenda look like?
No. Well, first of all, it would take 48 hours to explain all the things I would want to do in 48 hours. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you three. I'm going to give you three things that I would not want to miss when I come to Tennessee. So, number one, hands down, right off the bat, barbecue. At least for lunch, possibly for dinner, likely for breakfast. There's going to be some barbecue in my life because, by the way, I'm from the Southeast. My dad was military, so I actually grew up all over the country. Every 2 years or less for my entire childhood was a different address. I've been all over the place, and I went to high school in Georgia, and the South has a special place in my heart for me. So in Tennessee, absolutely, there's going to be some barbecue. And that's number one. Number two, live music. Because what you might not know about me is I was also the drummer in a rock band. If you visit, productivitygladiator.com, you can see some of that stuff. But I was the drummer in a rock band for about 5 years. And I love live music. So the concept of being, you got Nashville in Tennessee. So wow, look at that. All right, there's live music. That's the live music capital of the country. I don't want to miss that. And then the third thing that I would probably do is I'd have to, if it was up to me and I had 48 hours, a drive through the Appalachian Mountains would be part of it. And at least one of those overlooks, I need a selfie from an overlook that's looking out on those mountains and those views because I like the outdoors. I live in Florida because I'm more of a beach guy. Don't hate me, Tennessee. I'm a little bit more of a beach guy, but I do, man, with the opportunity to visit the mountains is something that I absolutely love. So that would be something that those would be three things, and then I could just keep going, but we don't have time for that. So I'm gonna stick with three, and if you want more, come hang out with me in my session, and I'll tell you all my other favorite Tennessee things because I've got quite a few. I got a special place in my heart for Tennessee.
Brian, that sounds like so much fun. We will hook you up with all of the barbecue spots, our favorites, and then we
I'm gonna
can
be taking
argue
notes.
over which one is the best because we do the same
Nice.
thing here at home. But thank you so much for just sharing about you, sharing about your session, getting us all excited. I know that we are. We plan to be in the back of the room, making sure that we are getting all of our notes. We actually have a text group called the Shine Bright Group, and so now we have to hold ourselves accountable to make sure that we are living out all 5 points and that, and we only have three in our group. And so now we can each be accountable for one of the points, but we need two more folks. So maybe you could join our group, Brian, and we can have
Oh,
someone to
snap.
hold us accountable for the fourth one, and then we'll recruit for the fifth one. So we absolutely love that. So if someone wants to learn more about you or stay in touch and connect leading up to the conference, how would they do that?
Productivitygladiator.com is going to be your place to find everything. If you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, I'm there. And ultimately, I'll tell you all the good stuff that I share in the way of productivity comes through my email list. So if you'd like to sign up for the email list on productivitygladiator.com, it's right there. I'll send you my three favorite time hacks. And here's a fun one for you. I'm going to give you some. I know everybody says connect with me on LinkedIn. Look at my website. So you just heard that one before. But here's a fun one that I'll share with you. If you want to check me out, truly check me out, I had a cool thing that happened, which is I did a TEDx talk on the value of your time management, which is something we all face. And the team at TED actually selected my talk as an editor's pick. So only about one out of every 500 or so gets selected as an editor's pick. So they featured it on TED.com. It was on their YouTube playlist. It was on social media. It got lots of views, but I also really appreciated it because for me personally, you give a TEDx talk and you think it's going to be helpful. So that was a validating moment for me that like, wow, the team at TED, I didn't submit for that. I didn't ask to be considered for that. They chose my talk for that. And so that's kind of cool. So if you want to check out the TED talk, you can find that on productivitygladiator.com or just go on YouTube and type me in. You'll see it there. So you can check that out and you can hear that's my stance on time management. So that's another way if you want to hang out.
Well, fantastic. And we'll be sure our editor place a link below so you can quickly, after you watch the completion of this video, you can click and watch his full TEDx talk. I had the pleasure of watching it and it was really good. So thank you so much, Brian. His session, Discover, Design, and Dominate Your what is it? Your work-life balance in the nonprofit sector. So be sure to join in on August the 28th. He'll be around for most of the day, so you can connect before and after his session if you have more questions. But be sure to go to his website to learn more. So thank you all so much for joining us. Do you have any closing words, Brian or Andrea?
My only one is I can't wait to see you there. Come hang out.
And mine is about the same. We are excited. We are going to be in Nashville August 28th at the Gaylord Convention Center and Resort Space. And we are looking forward to seeing y'all soon.
All right, thank you. So join us and our new friend, Brian Nelson Palmer, on August the 28th, www.tnnonprofits.org to learn more. We'll see you on the next episode.